Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Another episode. We're going back to back because we can do that. Uh, this is going to be fun. Real quick, just let you guys know we're going to be talking about supernatural horror and our ideas on it, recommendations, a discussion. Hopefully, you guys in the live chat will join us. But we have special guests. Obviously, Coriander's with me as always. Special guest is my man Cray Dre. What's going on? How you doing, Dre?
I'm so excited, you guys. Like, I really am. Like, I've been yelling at this screen for like weeks now. Every time we have these lives, and I'm just like, they can't hear me. And I'm just like, you could probably tell in the chat, I'm like practically screaming at the screen. I'm like,
Right.
they can't hear me.
Well, now they can.
We can
Yes.
now. That's right.
They'll be able to hear
It's an
you loud and
indescribable
clear.
feeling.
Absolutely. Hey, man, it's fun, and like I was telling you, I remember the first time I went live too, and it, trust me, you'll do better than I did. I'm sure of it.
Oh, I need to know all the emotions.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was a lot of emotions. Um, but for you guys in the live chat, definitely check out Dre's channel. I've got the link to his channel in the description. He's definitely really, really cool. I really love his content. He's, got this passion, for what he talks about, and that's one of the reasons why, I'm so happy to have him on the panel tonight. And this should be a fun conversation. So, let's see who we have in the live chat before we get going proper with the intro. Of course, the general, once again, is just making things happen. That's what
Yeah,
she
she does.
does. That's what she does. And you guys know the rules.
Valerie!
She's on it, and you guys know the rules. Don't mess with the general, or this is gonna happen to you.
I'm running this monkey farm now, Frankenstein, and I want to know what the fuck you're doing with my time.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So don't mess with her. But thank you, Val. We really appreciate you helping out so much. You're always there. Seriously,
And
thank you.
Valerie, I finally get to say hi to you. Like,
Right?
you can't hear me, but Valerie, you're beloved. We love you.
We do. Russell's in the chat. What's up, Russell? Katie's back with us in the chat. We've got Patrick's in the chat. And Katie is saying hello to everyone. And so is Dustin. What's going on with
Come on,
Dustin? Nice to
Dustin.
see you. And I just want to make sure I catch up to everyone here. We got Maverick. Oh, Maverick Media in the house.
Nice.
What's going on, Mav? All right. Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Let's see what else we got. Larry's in the chat. What's going on, Larry? Nice to see you. Russell's already putting his vote in for Ghost Ship. All right.
All
There
right.
you go.
Oh, wow.
I hear you. There you go. You guys are all right. Dan saying long live the satanic 70s. Yeah, you know what's up, Dan.
Yeah.
You know what's up. My man Shape's in the chat too, saying let's get ready for a great live. Thanks so much, man. We appreciate that so much. All right. So, and we also have Ty in the chat. What's going on? Welcome to the chat. Welcome. Nice to see you. All right, guys, we're gonna finish getting set up for a couple quick seconds and give other folks a chance to jump into the live if they choose to do so. So this should be a fun conversation, and we hope that you guys will be able to join us with it. So for you guys in the chat, for you guys watching the replay, sit back, relax. You know what time it is. All right, man. Let's let's do this thing, man. And real quick, we had a couple people jumped on while while we were doing the intro. Dan saying, "Is the haunted stream on this channel or the old one? Great movie. Did we do the haunted?
Um,
That's a good
maybe.
question.
That's a great one.
That's a good question. I got to think about that, Dan, because we've done so many
Yeah.
episodes. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'll double check on that though. Could have been on the old one though. And I like Scary's in the chat too. He says, "I look up, you're live again,
Oh,
killing it." What's
it's
up, man?
Brandon.
Right? What's up, Denisha? All right. And look at Jason is jumping in quick. We didn't even start
Yeah.
officially yet. Jeez, Jason, thank you so much, man.
Jason,
Wow.
I see
Yeah,
you all
man.
the time. Okay,
Jason
Jason,
is-
I don't know what you're doing, but every time I'm like, who is he? Because he's doing some amazing things.
He is. He really
Yeah.
is. And tell me if you guys know what this is from, because I do. And Jason, you are the freaking man. All right, so I'm gonna read it. Okay, man lives in the sunlit world of what he believes to be reality. But there is, unseen by most, an underworld, a place that is just as real, but not as brightly lit. A dark side. It's known as the Night Watch Zone. There you go. Does anyone know what that's from? If you don't, it's okay, because it's old school stuff, man. Coriander, you're like, I have no clue, man.
How old school are we talking? Like,
We're talking the 80s, maybe early 90s, maybe. But when I was a kid, this show used to scare the crap out of me.
It's a show?
It's a show?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I was
Right,
thinking a
I was
movie.
like, right. Me too. Is it 80s? Twilight Zone?
Close. That's you're close. Like you're right on the you're in the right parking lot.
Coriander, you have to. I feel like
Shit
you're
out
like
of me.
kind of right there with me.
Dan knows what it is. I'll tell you guys. It's Tales from the Dark Side.
Oh,
I was gonna
say
say,
something.
all right.
See, sometimes you got to go with your heart.
Right?
Sometimes you got to go with your
Oh,
heart.
what the?
You know? All right.
Yeah. What the hell?
First of all, Jason, seriously, man, thanks so much for the $20 super chat. But just as much, man, thanks for because as I was reading it, I started to remember myself as a kid watching that show as an anthology show, just like Twilight Zone or Tales from the Crypt or Outer Limits. And it used to scare the crap out of me. But that's the opening narration. And it had this creepy ass music, and it was, and the guy is reading that. He's narrating that. So Jason, you all right. Seriously, man, that was great. And we're gonna play this in your honor. I know Jason gets a kick out of this, and now Coriander has seen it. So let's just do this thing. Jason, thank you so much. Here we go.
Bring that fat ass over here. Oh, I wanna...
Wow, man.
Thanks so much, Jason. Seriously, you're all right, man. That was great. It really was. So, and I'm gonna get to the rest of you guys too in the live chat, and definitely let us know some of your favorite supernatural horror movies. But what I want to start off in the conversation is, first of all, and starting with you, Coriander, and then to Dre. What do you like about supernatural horror, and how effective do you think it is to the general audience? Just your opinion, anyways.
I mean, supernatural horror can bring so many different types of creepiness, scariness. I think there's some pretty good supernatural, horror movies throughout every decade, So yeah,
good
I
point.
think that it has a really good place in horror, if you ask me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How about you, Trey?
I personally feel like supernatural horror, for me, first off, I think it's one of those genres that, for me, it's the scariest. I don't know what it is. Even like if you think about like the 70s supernatural, like it's super like heavy on like the atmosphere. It's super like the music's always like super strange and weird. And it's just one of those ones that I feel like even today, like honestly, okay, I'm not gonna talk about that yet. But yeah, because supernatural scares me the most, and I feel like if you're into it, if it's your cup of tea, if it's your taste palette, I feel like it has a potential to like scare you the most, especially if you're dealing with like spirits and stuff, like the satanic route. Like it's just and then it's really cool to see how it's like turned out today, because actually when I think about some of the scariest films that have scared me, it's supernatural. It's supernatural. Like there isn't. Oh yeah, I feel like it. Did she say emotionally draining? Oh,
Emotional damage. I think it's from the clip.
But yeah, that's kind of what I feel like. It's just one of the scariest subgenres of horror, and just the factors that it incorporates, like they're like what I look for in a horror movie a lot of times.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I agree. And actually, when you said that, it made me think about some of the movies over my journey as a horror fan that I've thought were the scariest, or even to this day, when you ask me what are the scariest movies, and right off the bat, two of them, and I won't say because we're probably going to talk about them, but two of them are supernatural horror. And I'm going to be honest with you, I never really broke it down like that as far as, subgenres of horror. But it's true because with supernatural horror, first of all, anything can happen in the movie, based upon the creativity of the writing and the
That's
director and
very
so
true.
forth and the story. But also, I'm not getting into anything sensitive here, but if you are a believer,
Right.
in
Mm.
spiritual stuff, then it's Christmas time when you're talking about supernatural horror, man,
Yeah.
because like you're
There's some
already.
certain things you don't do with like Ouija
Mm,
boards. How do you feel about those?
Yes.
You
Wh-
know?
I
Uh-uh.
stay away from them. I've
See?
seen
Right?
enough movies. Yes,
Exactly. They're
right.
just fucking gateways to like
Oh
hell.
no.
So
Oh
no way.
no.
You said it.
Exactly.
You said it.
But for
Real
some
quick.
people, they don't like it.
Well, that's true too. Uh, what's up, Miss Carter? Nice to see you. Saying, "What the hell am I watching?" I know it's a funny clip, isn't it? Jason saying 13 Ghosts is up there for me. That's a good one
Oh,
too.
I remember that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Ty is saying Insidious is great. The Conjuring, of course. Nightmare on Elm Street. Any good possession exorcism movie? True.
Oh my gosh. Ty just named so many I just like practically like geysered out of my seat.
Right? Jason with a $2 super chat. Thanks so much, Jason. I appreciate that. Saying 1408 is one of my favorites. That's a really good example because I think that was a great. Did you see that one, Coriander or Dre?
I always see the covers,
Who's
the
in that one
key with
again?
John Cusack and
John
I think
Cusack.
Samuel L.
Yeah,
Jackson.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I've never seen it. I've heard so much about it, but I thought it wasn't my tea, so I didn't try it. Maybe I should.
Yeah. It's a good one. You should check it out. I think first of all, John Cusack was amazing in it. But it is really, really good. Seriously.
Yeah.
Good call on that one, Jason. What's up, Skull Crusher? Saying I find some supernatural movies fun to watch. Yeah, yeah, they can be a lot of fun because again, it's you're on that edge of reality, so to speak.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially if you've like experienced shit. I mean, I
that's
Yes.
true too.
certainly have. So,
It
when you deal with things that deal with real life in movies that are covering like true events, it's like, wow, it's crazy. Yeah.
it feels
Yeah,
so real. Like if it
Yep.
that I think that's the thing for me. It always seems to, and even if it doesn't, it's just something about the formula to supernatural horror films just generally. Like there are so many that scare me that are supernatural. It's just like,
yeah, absolutely, and it can really sit with you for a long time. Like I
long
know that's what
time.
happens
Yep.
with me, especially as a kid. As a kid, if I saw
Yeah.
something that was supernatural, automatically I was already kind of on edge, because I was just afraid of that idea of ghosts and spirits and demons or whatever. So
Yes.
very much so. Jamie's in the chat too, saying supernatural horror lives. Event Horizon, 13 Ghost, Ghost Ship, The Ring, The Grudge, Sinister. Yeah, those are great
Yep.
choices.
Oh, I
Very
love.
much so.
I honestly never thought of The Ring and The Grudge as supernatural, but it
Oh yeah.
literally is. I don't know why my
Mm.
mind didn't think of that.
Yeah. The Ring. The Ring. When I first saw The Ring, man, that really got me.
I was like 10. That movie scared me to death. It had
Right?
three scary scenes, but they're so essential. They're so
Yes.
essential.
Agreed. Agreed. So what I also want to do too is we're going to give out some of our recommendations to you guys. Obviously, you guys are giving us recommendations too, but we're just going to take just a quick moment or two to talk about these recommendations. So we're just going to go round robin style as we always do on this channel, like when we do top tens or whatever. So Coriander, I'll have you go first with a recommendation of yours, and then we'll go to Dre, and then I'll go. And this is not in any particular order. This isn't a ranking. These are just some recommendations that we wanted to throw out to you guys to have a conversation about. So Coriander, I'll have you go first.
All right. So one of my picks is It Follows.
It Follows. Yes,
That's a
yes.
good
Yeah.
one. That's a good one. I love that
Yeah,
one.
that was so weird. I first saw that movie, I was like, what the hell's going on? And then when she realized that it can be anybody, and yeah, that's what makes it scary. Yeah. So
Oh,
Yeah.
that one is
it's
a
a good
good
one.
one.
Yeah.
That soundtrack by Disaster Piece.
Mm. It had some super hardcore Carpenter vibes in that
Oh, I
movie.
did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Carpenter, anyone who's watched this channel, you guys know how I roll with John Carpenter. So I was like literally like from the opening of the movie, and you could see the camera work, the music and so forth. It was definitely like an homage to Carpenter. I was so impressed with that movie because the movie had come out, and I heard about it, but I was like, I'll catch it at some point. And I forgot how it happened, but I eventually got a chance to watch it. And throughout the whole movie, I'm enjoying it, but part of me is saying, why did I wait so long to watch this amazing movie? Because it literally, especially within the last decade, whoo, I mean, that movie is top shelf, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
To
Top
some
shelf.
people they think it's overrated.
Yes, I've
But
heard that too.
to be honest with you, I saw it in theaters when it came out, and I literally thought that I kind of felt let down. I think my standards were too high, but I know
Hmm.
a good movie when I see one, and I was like, I left, and I kind of felt like, but I was like, it was so good though. Like I was like, you know, a good movie when you see it.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's very well made. The script is tight. The acting is good. The practical effects were good. And it really was, and I talked about this the other night on a live stream. Um, it's hard to have an original idea anymore. I mean, it's virtually impossible, right? But you can take something which is similar to parallels of, like, zombie apocalypse or a haunting or whatever, into this story that they crafted for It Follows, and you kind of go on an angle and make it fresh. And that's exactly what, at least for me, that's what the movie did. And I was just so impressed, so impressed. That's a great pick, Coriander. You all right.
That right. You just went there with. I'm like, okay, okay.
Yeah, yes. All right. So, Dre, how about if you give us a recommendation of a supernatural horror that is really cool to you?
Okay, Coriander, you took it modern, so I'm gonna stick with the modern before I get with the older ones. Insidious, the original. The original. I'm not talking about. I love the second one, but we're talking about Insidious. I would say
Yeah,
Insidious because
that
that
was a good one.
one. I okay, so I saw it on a laptop. I didn't really know about it when it came out, so I kind of it was like 5 in the morning. I watched it on a laptop, and when I tell you, I'm not even joking. I had like tears of fear rolling down my face. I was like, this is the most terrifying thing I've ever watched. Like the music score just made me just feel like who is behind me in my back. I had to screw my back against the wall. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, I
Nice.
was like, no, this is like nightmarish
Wow.
to me.
Right, right. No,
I
it's
bet
good, man.
you're fun to watch a movie with, if
Cause
if you're reacting like that. Oh man.
I'm super jumpy. Oh my gosh.
It was good though, man, because it really, again, it took the idea of like a haunting and it turned it up on its head. You know what I
Oh,
mean? And I really enjoy Insidious. It was when I first saw it, I was, again, just like with It Follows, I was just so impressed because especially with these more modern movies like It
yes.
Follows and Insidious, it was just nice to see that it could have like the old school vibes, but be new, modern, and fresh and
Yeah.
effective.
Oh my
So that's
goodness.
a great pick. Great pick. Real quick in the chat before I throw mine out, my recommendation. We've got a couple people jumping in. Daisy is in the chat saying, "Hey, chat." Long time lurker, first time chiming in. Oh, well, welcome, welcome.
Nice.
Nice to hear from
Yeah.
you.
Oh, oh,
Hope to
oh,
hear from you
oh.
more.
Right.
Um, Love the topic tonight. Paranormal always scares me. There you go.
Ah,
Say it
There
again.
you
nice.
go. Yeah, absolutely. Paranormal stuff is, whew, I'm telling you.
It's the
Um,
scariest one to me.
it's well, I think, like I said, it's
One of
it's
the.
the unknown, right? It's the unknown, and I think some people, and I understand it. Some people are more scared of things that could actually happen. Like if you have a
Right.
serial killer, a slasher
Mm-hmm.
movie or whatever, and I can understand that. But that supernatural stuff, man. Whew, telling you. We'll catch you later, Miss Carter. Thanks for dropping in.
Bye.
Take it
Bye, Miss
easy.
Carter.
Ty saying that James Wan should remake 13 Ghosts. That would be
Ooh,
cool.
if James Wan did it, I have so much. Well, no, I do. I have so much faith in him.
Yeah, me too.
He could do it right.
Right. He's amazing. He is amazing. Well, my pick, and I've got so many that I listed, but I'm going to start off with something that is old school,
Come on.
and one of those movies that it scared the crap out of me when I first saw it, and I'm going to talk about Hellraiser.
Oh.
Now, Clive Barker, and people that have watched the channel, you guys know, because we've done a little bit of Clive Barker stuff with Nightbreed and so forth, which is another great supernatural movie, Nightbreed. But Hellraiser, when I saw that as a kid, I mean, you're talking about a demon from hell, all right? So you already got me, you already got my attention, and it was done in such a gothic and haunting way, with just masterful camera work, music, and acting. Doug Bradley's presence as Pinhead, like when he talked, I was just like, wow, I mean, and
The
there's this.
Cenobites.
The
I mean,
Cenobites were
some of
scary.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everything about it was just creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh.
The Last Exorcism is pretty
Ooh.
decent. Yes, I agree,
Ooh.
Dustin.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
That was a good one. But yeah, for me, Hellraiser was definitely one that stuck with me for a long time, and even watching it today. And I actually want to say, I'm kind of cheating, but Hellraiser 1 and 2, because they were very connected with each other, kind of like continuation of sorts, especially for the Kirsty character. And both movies just scared the crap out of me, and they're still haunting to this day. So that's my pick.
You're making me want to watch it only because I saw Hellraiser as a child. My mom was like, "You want to watch Pinhead?" And I remember watching it and just feeling weird. Like it's just super weird. I felt like, when you're a kid, I'm like, this is like sexual or something. Like I don't know. I used to feel like weird watching it. So maybe I need to watch it as an adult because it's just like the way you're describing. The way you're describing it, it's making me want to watch it. But I just remember how like somebody puked on me or something. I'm like, and I was as a child, I just couldn't take it. But now I want to watch it though.
You should, man. Seriously, I recommend.
Yeah, and let us know,
absolutely.
what you thought, because I'm really interested now after all that.
We got Conrad. Conrad's in the chat too, and he's going with one of the best of all time, saying Nightmare on Elm Street when it comes to supernatural horror for me. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, man. Especially those first couple ones, man. I mean, it was just great
when Freddy's
stuff.
scary, that is honestly when it's the best.
Yeah, agreed.
The whole comedy
Absolutely.
I thought I had the VHS. Like I had like 4 and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I thought I had the original. I was like, look, I got it on VHS. Like,
right?
Ready to go.
I might still have it on VHS somewhere because I mean that movie. It just started. I mean, it started so much. It really did. Back in the 80s, it was.
Well, if
Wes
you
Craven,
had the whole cassettes, right? It had Freddy in the back extended. If you had them, all
lined up,
put in order.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it did. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Carrie saying it is. Saying this could be up for debate, but would we, in a way, categorize Blair Witch as supernatural, or do we believe the theory of the two plotting to kill the other?
Why do we have to talk about Blair Witch, man?
Because we do.
You don't like Blair Witch?
Oh, that is like the worst fucking piece of shit ever.
Come on. No, it's not, because you've seen Blood Cult. You've seen Blood Cult and Good Night, God Bless.
It's right there with it, though. It is right fucking there.
You cannot tell me it's worse than Blood Cult.
Dude, this movie, to me,
you don't want to. Okay, what about Student Bodies?
Yeah, it's right there with these movies.
No, it's not. It's I'm saying, is it worse than Student Bodies?
No.
Come on. Coriander.
I will agree with you that it is not as bad as Student Bodies,
right.
but it's right there. It's just a little bit,
Because you know what? When I think of things like Blood Cult and Good Night, God Bless, I think of things like this.
Don't you know that this feeling is only yours and mine. Don't you know that this love would last for all time?
Yeah. The look on Coriander's face as the music is playing, she's just like, no.
That is so
What
funny.
the hell, man?
Oh, yeah,
I saw that in the
know.
theater as a kid, Blair, which my grandma took me to see it. I think I was like 7 or something like that, and I don't know, it was kind of like, ooh, you know.
Well, I could see
Yeah.
like a fucking 7-year-old, but when you're in high school, come on, no. I was
But you
like
know
so
what?
disappointed, and
But you
I
know
was
what
like, I
though?
wasted my money on this
But you know what
shit,
though?
and
But let me just say this. But that could be said for a lot of movies. I mean, when I was in high school, none of these movies scared me like they did as a kid. But that didn't mean that they were bad. You get desensitized to things, you know?
See, okay, I don't want to talk about
there
that.
was nothing in
That's
that
something
movie that
different.
was scary. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it was scary, but yeah, I agree with you on that.
You didn't even see a witch. I mean, it was all this
I
fucking bullshit, you
I
know? It
kind of
was
All
all
right.
just
I kind of feel like that added to it though, like not seeing the witch, like it's like
Right, because
this
your
whole
mind
theory.
played
My
tricks.
mind just exactly.
my mind
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck am I sitting through? I should just walk out of this shit.
All right. So give me another recommendation, Coriander. Give me one that you enjoy.
All right. So the Autopsy of Jane Doe. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's a good
movie
one.
was a creepy movie. And I mean, once they started getting into this chick's corpse, you start discovering more shit. And yeah, creepy stuff goes down. And I don't want to
Hmm.
spoil it too much for people that haven't seen it, but it's a good
Right, right,
movie.
right.
I was gonna say,
Yeah. It
please
makes you
don't.
think about being a coroner.
Well, it kind of
Oh,
gave
Yeah.
you that kind of behind the curtains view of it, and I think that was
Uh-uh.
interesting. Number one,
Yeah.
because well, no, what I mean was is that I had never really seen a movie where you literally had those two characters and the corpse for 98% of the film, you know,
really?
Yeah.
and but it was very. It never got boring to me whatsoever, and that's a credit not only to the script but also the acting. You had oh my god, I can't think of his name. Brian Cox. He was the
Oh, okay.
lead and amazing actor, amazing character actor.
Who
And
was
the
the young
movie
one?
just, um,
I can't
gosh, I
remember.
can't remember, but
Yeah.
irregardless,
Yeah.
they were both phenomenal.
Man, I haven't
They
seen
were.
this one, but I've heard a couple people say like you need to watch the Autopsy of Jane Doe.
You need,
Yeah,
yeah,
The
and
one
you
yeah.
with
know,
the girl and shows
Check
her
it
like
out.
the hair and she looks like, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And the thing of it too is that with that movie is that I had heard about it for quite a long time and I heard it was
Same.
pretty good. But it was the same thing as before. You know, you just kind of like, it's probably okay. But I just, it just wasn't, it wasn't a priority. But I'm telling you, and for you guys in the
I've never
chat,
seen
I'm not
anything like it.
right. And for you guys in the
Yeah.
chat,
Oh,
I know
you're
a
making
lot.
me
I know a
really want to
lot.
watch it.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of folks in the chat. You guys may, be in the same position where you're like, oh, well, yeah, it sounds good. But seriously, these are recommendations that we really enjoy, and I've seen what these guys are going to recommend, and I can agree. All of these movies, I think, are must watch. If you're a horror
Yeah.
fan, and it's really, really
Supernatural
cool stuff.
fan. hmm
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and Conrad was
Ooh,
saying the Babadook is a supernatural as well. It is.
Yeah.
It
Conrad, you
really
are all
is.
right in my book.
You know, I
Yeah,
showed
he
my
is.
oldest Krampus, and to this day, she still doesn't let me, live it down that I haunted her dreams for I don't know how long with that movie.
Really?
Yes.
So, yeah,
Yes.
I mean, that's another good one too.
The one
Right.
with the
Right.
hand on the
Right.
globe? That one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Krampus. Yep. Absolutely.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good one, man.
Ah, check it
Um,
out. That
so
one would be interesting to see because I bet you'd
it.
be
Oh.
yeah,
screaming. No.
yeah.
Right.
So what do we have for another recommendation for you, Dre?
I'm gonna take it back just a little bit.
Okay.
Candyman 1992.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
one is just so good. Like, I don't know,
Yep.
kind of like when I was younger, we lived in this housing project, very similar. Not as bad as like Cabrini Green, but
Hmm.
it was just like for me, he was like one of the boogeymans that were actually real. Like we were afraid of it. It's partially the reason why I'm afraid of like bathrooms, because
Yeah.
like and he lived literally on like, and I can't even watch that movie like now. My whole day is gonna be all weird and messed up. It just leaves this feeling on me that just
Right.
you have to be ready when you're gonna watch that movie because it's just so.
I agree, man. I mean, but movies like that, they make you afraid of, like, for real. And Coriander knows this. I still get freaked out in hospitals because of Halloween 2, 1981. You know, like if I'm in a
Oh really?
hospital late at night and it's kind of dim or dark and there's not a lot of
That's a
people
good one.
around, for
Oh yeah,
real,
Halloween.
it creeps me out, man. You know,
I
so
understand.
that bathroom scene, when I first saw Candyman, that scene freaked me out, man. You know, the music and just the it's so just dim and grimy
That's
and
like when you
gray.
have to use the bathroom when you're on the highway and you hit those restrooms.
Yes, yes,
Those
Yes.
and
ones are
oh,
fucking creepy too.
oh
Yes,
my
they
god,
are.
I
Yeah.
literally get afraid before I walk into some. Honestly, I have this weird fear of like dark bathrooms. You know the ones with like the black, like the stall is black. I get freaked out, and
Yes.
please don't let it having like pipes on top of the ceiling. So I'm like, oh man, it just
Right?
scared me. Oh my goodness, I can't do it. I
Right?
can't do it.
Absolutely. But Candyman's a great pick. Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of go kind of in a little bit of a different direction,
Do it.
because sometimes with supernatural horror, you know, you want to be creeped out and you know you could be scared or whatever, but sometimes there's also a little comedy involved. And my next pick is
I'm
Drag Me to Hell from Sam Raimi.
Nice.
And I mean, that movie, first of all, it is creepy. Second of all, you're talking about hell, so you already got me like, hey, woo, you know what I'm
Exactly,
saying? Like,
exactly.
so the realness is there, right? And I laughed through that movie on multiple parts because Sam Raimi always injects
He does.
his dark comedy into
He
his
does.
movies. Great practical effects. The script is lean.
That
You got
score.
monsters. The score, yeah, you know, and yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. And I
That's
thought
a
that
good
that'd be a good
one.
one.
That's a
Mm,
great one.
I agree. Have you seen that one, Coriander?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's so good. You don't
Do you
seem
like it?
excited.
No,
She's just like
yeah. I'm
whatever.
just listening to you guys.
Oh, I'm like,
Okay.
Coriander,
I was
do
like,
you not like this one
I was
either?
like,
Please don't do
I
this to
know. I
me.
was about to say, wake up, tell us what you think. You know, I was like, what's
What
going
do you think
on?
about La Mia?
I'm
Oh
telling you, man,
shit.
right off of the bat in that movie, when the little was it a
The
little
boy.
girl? The boy, a little boy.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, they actually took him to hell. What the hell is
Right.
going on,
I
man?
did. I kind of felt like, oh my gosh, like he's a little boy. Like he's got to be,
Yes.
And
He's gonna
they
be okay, right?
when they
Nope.
knocked him off of the I think it was like off
The
of like a balcony
balcony.
thing. I was like, oh.
Yes.
And then like the grandmother, it just left you with that feeling that no, that's the thing. No one could save you. Like
Yes.
I
Yes.
think,
It was
and I think
inevitable.
it was inevitable. And I
Hmm.
oh, don't even get me talking about it because
Right?
that one is really good. I think that was what I was afraid of it before it even came out. I was walking to school listening to like the soundtrack way before. I don't even know what was wrong with me, but I was doing that, and it just
Right.
it's a oh man, that's a good one.
Yep. And Wayne knows what's going on because he was saying, and Katie was saying, The Craft. Ooh, yeah, that's a
Ooh,
good one too.
the craft is just classic. You can't even
It
touch the
is.
craft.
Matt's in the chat from Fachi Cinema. What's going on? Saying, night, my guy. What's
Archie.
popping? How you doing, man? How you doing? But Wayne, he knows what's up. He says the train tracks and Drag Me to Hell, right? I was like, and I don't want to spoil it. You know, if you
Oh,
haven't seen it, you got to see
right,
it.
right,
But
right.
all I'm saying, the train tracks is like, are you serious? I'm serious, man. I did not see it coming like that. I did not see it coming like that.
Justin Long being in that movie,
Mm-hmm.
his facial expression, just
Yeah.
He's good
oh,
anyway.
oh, he's great anyway. Like
Mhm.
if
Yeah.
you oh Justin Long, he made that scene, the train tracks, just
He
so
did.
intense. Like it was like they oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was good, man. It really, really was. All right, so Coriander, let's see what you've got next for your next recommendation.
So I am gonna take it back old
Take us
school.
back. Take us
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And I have to go with Suspiria. That's like one of my
Ooh,
favorite. Yeah, one of my favorites. I
nice.
love the score.
Dario.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
very
I love
cool.
the score, the colors.
The co-
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
the
a beautiful
sound
movie.
of the witch and yeah, just everything
oh,
about that. Yeah.
Mm,
the aesthetics to Suspiria. I mean, the intro scene alone. I mean, look,
mm.
we're not even
Yeah.
gonna go there, but yeah, it. Oh my gosh, the colors, the soundtrack, Dario. I mean, it's just.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And we got ATGNAT in the chat saying, "Happy Sunday, everyone." Hey, what's going on? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Very cool to
Yeah.
see you. Conrad saying, "Christine is supernatural, one of my favorites." Very true. Very
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
I agree. I agree. Uh,
That's one Stephen King movie that I
me
don't know.
too.
I really couldn't get into Christine. I don't know what it was,
You know
mm.
what, Coriander, you're
but
not alone. I actually watched it for the first time a couple of weeks ago.
yep.
Ooh.
Because I always heard about it, but I don't know. I watched a lot of horror as a kid, so I kind of knew the ones I typically not went towards. And Christine, almost like a car. I'm like, that's not really my idea. But I knew John Carpenter directed it, so I was like, maybe
Yeah.
I need to check this out.
Yeah. What did you think of it when you saw it?
I'm gonna be honest. I was a little distracted, but I did like. I felt instantly nostalgia just watching it. I was like, oh
Oh,
man,
Yeah.
I love this feeling
yeah.
it's giving me, and it
Right.
was. It kind of was what I expected, but a little bit different at the very same time. I think I probably need to watch that one again because I was like
Yeah.
kind of distracted a little bit. But from what I saw of it, it kind of was what I thought. But I was like we kind of know when it comes to like horror, like sometimes you're not gonna be scared out of your pants. It's just
Right.
sometimes these movies are just trying to teach. Like sometimes they're just a good little chiller, a good little thriller, or a good little
Hmm.
some of them are not supposed to be mind blowing, you know,
True
things
enough.
that so
Yeah, absolutely. Maverick is saying this is good night. I'm trying to determine what the Vegas odds would be for you to have Jason
oh,
Goes to Hell on your supernatural list. My guess is 1 million to
Uh,
1 odds.
oh
Maverick,
goodness.
you know what's up. Jason Goes to
man.
Hell is not on my list because
Yeah, I'm
Friday
sorry.
the 13th is supposed to be a slasher
Yes.
franchise. But
Yep.
I'm not gonna go off on Jason Goes to Hell because you guys know what's going on with it. But Maverick, just because Coriander, you know what's going on. But
I'm not gonna say anything because.
but Maverick, I appreciate you so much, man. And in your honor, this is what I think of Jason Goes to Hell.
Uh-oh.
What? What?
Oh,
That's what I think.
stop.
Come on.
It's
And
not
if you
that
guys and if
bad.
oh you know the truth. And if you guys have not
Tell the
seen our
truth.
Jason Goes to Head, if you guys have not seen the Jason Goes to Hell episode we did, it was fun. It really was. All seriousness, it's fun to talk about.
Oh my goodness, I'm right there with you with the. Oh, I remember as a kid because by the time I was like 9, I think I probably had seen them all, and I remember
Hmm.
that one, and I was just like, I just remember dun, 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 like the intro. I was like,
Yes.
what is this? And I was like, oh my
Right?
Oh,
goodness, the
stop it.
hamburger, and I'm just like, oh gosh, like
Oh
Oh,
man.
those
And
were great. The hockey mask burgers. Come
wait a minute, is that
on.
8?
stop. You know the truth. All right. So
Yeah.
look, let me the master of horror is in the chat too, saying Final Destination is one of the best supernatural horror
Oh,
movies.
Final Destination. Yes.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
Absolutely. And definitely check out our Final Destination series review. We did all 5 movies, we ranked them, and it was
man,
so much fun. It really,
that
really
sounds
was.
fun.
Wayne is getting down to brass tacks, talking about Maximum Overdrive, which
See.
definitely is supernatural.
Coriander, what do you think about that one?
Uh,
Right,
the
right.
soundtrack is wonderful, but the rest, I mean, that coke-fueled movie is like, wow, man.
Hey, look, man, I
It's
will
like,
say this. We
yeah.
had so much fun. If you guys haven't joined us for our watch parties, especially our last couple, man, we did Maximum Overdrive and we did Sleepwalkers. We had a blast. I mean, seriously, these movies, even for movies that are not great movies, it was just so much fun watching them as a group. And we're definitely going to be planning to do something again within the next week.
Ooh,
But
okay,
in
excited.
but in honor of Maximum Overdrive, do you remember this, Coriander?
Come on, sodas. I'm buying.
Yeah.
That movie was crazy. It's
That
I
was a
mean, they
good
had
movie.
lawnmowers chasing people.
they
Yeah.
did. Oh my god.
Oh my
We,
gosh, that's the movie? Oh my gosh, I used to see like little clips about that. I was like, what is
yes, yes, it's a crazy movie. And Jamie just named a movie, and I didn't have it on my list on purpose. This is a movie. I kid you guys not. I've told this story. I might have to do a video on it, an episode on it. Jacob's Ladder creeped me out so bad as a kid. I was a little kid when I saw it. It creeped me out
this?
so bad. I didn't watch it for years after
Ooh, that's how you know it's good.
because it was so creepy. It's not like overt or bombastic creepy, but it's just little things in it, creepy moments, voiceovers, and all that type of stuff. I didn't watch that thing until I was an adult. It was
Oh, that
literally like 15 years I didn't watch on purpose. I didn't watch it. And
yeah,
but it was always in my mind as when people say, what's a movie that scared you? That was always a movie that was on that
really.
list for real.
You
It
make me
creeped
want to
me
watch
out.
it from that lens. That like I don't know. I don't know. I'm like an experiential type of viewer, so it
Mm,
is about how I feel, and I get really into it. I
yeah.
like when I hear people's like opinion like that. I like to watch it with that lens because it makes me feel extra things that I didn't
Yeah.
feel.
I mean, it was a trippy movie and the ending of it was so sad in a way. So there was a lot
It
of, at
was.
least for me, especially as a kid, there's a lot of emotion to it, but
Yeah.
a good movie, a good movie. Two Boys is in the chat and saying they are remaking the Final Destination and adding twists. Yeah, I've been waiting to hear what's going on with the
I
sixth
heard.
movie.
I heard it's supposed to be like different.
Remaking? Like, are they remaking one of them or adding one on?
I don't know the whole story. At first, my what I
Hmm.
understood was it was going to be a sixth movie,
That's
and
what I
I
thought.
and I had actually heard of what the the main plot or the idea that they had for the main plot was, but I won't say it here to spoil it. But
Hmm.
yeah, but maybe they're changing it. I mean, who knows?
I
Hard
heard
to
they're
say.
just not doing like they're just like they're putting twists in there. Like it's not gonna be what we like think. I guess.
Yes, yes. Yep, absolutely.
So we're going to see the
Um,
Grim Reaper? Are we
I
actually
don't
going to
know.
see it?
Ooh, you
I
know
don't I
what?
don't
If they
know.
if they do it right, if they do it right, it could be very.
There are things about the movies, and this might take us. I don't want to go too far on this rabbit hole, but there are things about the original series that I thought were kind of missed opportunities. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Especially with Tony Todd's character and how that really could have, there could have been some more things that they did to really add to the
okay.
overall mythology. Now, whether or not that was a creative choice or maybe whatever, I don't know, but there were things in those movies that I thought, man, they could have really added some more stuff, kind of to what you were saying, Coriander, about having more of a Grim Reaper presence, which of course Tony Todd was a physical manifestation of that, for all intents and purposes. But
He
all
was more
right,
like a doomsayer,
well,
not like a
yeah, but
collector. Well, in a way, he was a collector because he was a coroner, but you know what
Mm,
I mean.
what do you mean by collector? What do you mean?
that's a good one.
Because he's like, you're not seeing the force that's taking your life. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Okay, I see what
yeah,
you mean.
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. um so let's go to another one. Dre, so you already, is it your turn? I lost track of who was next.
You said it. I think it's Coriander's turn because I think you said. What did you say for the one you just said? No.
Coriander, you talked about the Autopsy of Jane Doe, and you talked about Suspiria.
Yep.
Um,
And
and
it
Dre,
follows.
and It Follows. Okay, and Dre, you talked
Yep.
about Candyman, and
And you
yeah, I
just
think it
said
is your.
Jacob's song. Yeah.
Well, I was just reading from the chat, but I think it's your turn though.
Oh, it is
I
once.
think.
Oh,
I
okay.
think so.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. The Omen, 1976. I mean,
Ooh, yeah.
I was like a young, I oh my, I was too young when I saw that, and my mom was like, "Let's watch Damien," and I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" And when I saw the 666 on his head, I was just like, first of all,
Yeah.
Looking at your own head? No.
the music score alone, I was like,
Yes.
I was like, oh yeah, this
Yeah.
it always scared me so bad, and
Right.
I don't know, that one
Those
just
are awesome. That the whole I love that trilogy. I mean, the third one, it's okay. It has its issues, but the first two are incredible.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah,
Honestly,
great picks.
I've never saw the third one because I tried to watch it multiple times over the years. It would come on
Hmm.
TV, and I just couldn't get into it. But I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I just can't get into
Well,
it.
That's okay.
well, it's definitely got its moments. And Sam Neill,
Yeah.
who played the adult version of Damien, he
Yeah.
had some good moments. I think they had
Yeah.
missed opportunities in it for sure, but
Yeah.
there were definitely some good stuff in it. It's definitely not as good as the first two, but
I got
But
it
one.
had some interesting stuff. We
great
we still got
pick.
it. We still got to talk about that one.
The third one, yeah. We did the
Yeah,
first two, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
Oh, you
Yeah,
Yeah.
did?
Yeah, we did. You should check
oh
them out.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and and speaking of which, I guess thank you, Coriander, because we a lot of these movies we have done episodes on, so definitely check them out. When we did the Omen, first of all, it's a classic, but we also, and just to throw it out there, it is what it is. But we had done the Omen shortly after Richard Donner had passed away. Richard Donner, who directed the
Mm,
Omen, who directed Goonies,
Yep.
Superman, Lethal Weapon, who was absolutely amazing. We had a little tribute to him. It was quite emotional. I still remember that episode very well, even though it was like what 9 months ago, 10 months ago,
That was a while
easily.
ago. Yeah.
So if you haven't checked out our episode on the Omen, check that out. It was really really
mm.
heartfelt,
Yeah.
and we also had a great and fun episode on
I
the
know
Omen
it's
too.
really hard. Yeah, I know it's really hard scrolling on your phone. It's difficult. I get it. But you really should check out like some of our earlier videos because they're good.
Yeah,
And you might be
absolutely.
surprised at what we've done that be like, holy shit, I've been wanting them to do it. And we could have already done it.
Yes, very
So
true.
Oh,
Very
there
true.
was some that you did, Night, that my heart is just left somewhere. I gotta go find it because I'm like, I missed it.
ah,
And sometimes you just want it while it's hot, you know. But
Yeah,
ah.
I know what you
but they
mean.
always are good to go back to.
But the
You did
reheat,
Oh,
that
thank
can
you.
be just as good. No.
absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. No, truly though, truly.
Right.
Very true. Very true. All right. So I'll go next. Um, so
Oh,
I'm gonna go with, and this is kind of a layup because you guys know me and so
mm,
forth if you've watched our videos, and I've got the poster behind me if you can see it. But The Shining, I mean, come on, let's just be
no,
real.
let's be
When you're
real.
talking about when you talk about supernatural horror, for me, The Shining is one of my favorite movies, and also still for me, I'm just saying this is all of our opinions, obviously, but for me, still very effective. So
Yes.
I'm going to go with The Shining, but I
Hmm.
also want to give a shout out to Doctor Sleep because I think Doctor Sleep was a fantastic movie. We haven't done an episode on it yet. We will. I've been waiting for it. I absolutely love Doctor Sleep, and I think there were so many great things that they did with that movie. And if you have not seen The Shining or Doctor Sleep, or if you haven't seen them in a while, they're definitely high recommendations from me. What do you guys think about The Shining and Doctor Sleep?
Oh, Corey, you can go first.
I mean, The Shining, yeah, that is a classic.
It
If you haven't
is.
seen The Shining, then I don't know if are you a horror fan? I don't know.
I,
No,
I
I'm
didn't.
just joking.
Jeez.
But and
Oh.
I mean, Doctor Sleep, I've only seen it like I think a couple times.
Yes.
And I mean, it has its moments for me. I don't love it like you do, Night. But maybe if I watched it again,
Hmm.
maybe I might feel a little different. But it
Let
was
me
all
see.
right. I
I'm
felt
gonna
like
see
it
if
was a little long. Could
let
have
me
been
see if I
short.
hold on one second. I'm gonna see if I've got it. Keep on talking about it. I'm gonna see if I actually can find my disc on it. Keep on going with it. Keep
Uh,
going. Keep going.
but I mean, yeah, I don't know what else I can say about it. How
I
do you
feel
feel
like
about it? Yeah.
I feel like The Shining. I saw that really young too. Oh my gosh, you guys! I'm just gonna throw it. I saw horror films way too young. But I saw. So by the time I was like 9, 8, I was already locked in. Like me and horror were like best friends for like 25 years, and
Yeah.
so The Shining was one of those ones. It's the visuals. It is a little lengthy, but it's so good. And Stanley just like I don't want to wait. We've seen it, right? If most of us have seen it,
Oh
because I
yeah, yeah.
feel okay. You know, like
You
the
can talk
elevator.
spoilers,
Okay,
honestly.
I was nervous about that. I'm very big on that.
No, do it.
Like the elevator with the blood, like the obviously
Yeah.
the twins, like,
Yep.
I mean,
The
I
chick
know
in the
everybody.
bathtub.
I
Yeah,
thought I
like
had it, but I don't.
oh my goodness, it that one, and it was the reason why I kept saying red rum and red rum. It was scary, like it
Right?
was so like I was writing it on everything, but I'm like we were like it's me and my cousins were like it's murder backwards. Oh my god, like it was just like one of those
Oh my god.
like yes, oh yeah, The Shining will live on, and I know I've heard some people
Yes.
talk about how boring it is, but
No.
you got to appreciate what it's giving, and it's giving
Yeah.
atmosphere. It's giving. I know it gets crazy towards the end, but it's just
Yeah. I love
so
it.
That's
dope.
what happens.
It's a great one.
Mm,
It's a great one.
mm.
All right. So Coriander, let's just do one more each. I know we've been going through so many, but let's try to do one. If you have one more,
Yeah,
let's
I
do
do.
one more pick.
Yeah. So this one's a fairly new one.
Hmm.
I've only seen it once and it blew my mind. Um, yeah, it's Hereditary.
Oh, there you go. All
Oh
right.
my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, I mean that it blew my mind a few times in that film. Um, Especially with the daughter and what happens with her. I'm not going to say because I don't know if
Yeah.
people have
Right.
Ugh.
seen it.
Right.
Um,
Mm.
and yeah, I mean, what the brother goes through after everything. I mean, yeah, this poor family. Yeah, yeah,
Oh my
it's a
goodness.
great one.
And I like on the Facebook horror groups. I've this one is like talked about in such a disrespectful way, and I get it.
Mm,
If it's not your taste, sometimes people don't like slow burners because it's a slow
right.
burn, but
Hmm.
it's enwrapped in that family drama. That for
Yep.
me, I feel like family drama, like your family, they typically know everything about you, no matter what other people do. So it's this element of realness, and Toni Collette being the
She's
actress in this,
amazing.
she is
She was.
phenomenal. I had chills the whole entire time.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I honestly didn't get bored with this, but I don't know. That one I can't watch. I've only seen it twice. It's very emotionally exhausting and draining, but it's so good. It's just oh my gosh.
I agree. I mean, it was fantastic, and again, a movie
Yeah,
that is a modern supernatural movie that I think did so many great things, and it was well done, well acted, well filmed, and it
yeah.
directed, and so forth. Just a really good movie. Seriously, it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
Ari did his thing.
Yeah. Um. All right, Dre. So one more pick from you. One more recommendation that you have, if you
Oh
have
my
another one.
gosh. Oh, I have so many. Like that was the hardest part. Gosh. I okay, I'm not gonna throw this one here. You know, I almost put the black phone, but I'm not. It's just like a. But I'll say Sinister. I'll say Sinister.
Ooh. Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Sinister is just one of those ones that it's just. I remember I saw most of these films I'm going to talk about, at least the new ones. I'm a theater person. I have to see the movie in the theater. For me, if I don't, I'm pissed off, and I most likely won't watch it
Mm-hmm.
because it sets the mood automatically. Like it's I have to do it. But Sinister is one of those ones. Like when that intro started, I was like, "What is happening?" I was like, oh, "That's how we're starting." Like, oh
Right.
my goodness! And on the Facebook horror groups, I've heard people talk about like what's the scariest like soundtracks, and I've repeatedly seen Sinister, and Sinister is just got one of the most chilling soundtracks just ever.
It
Like,
is.
oh, Scott Derrickson was signed, sealed, and delivered to me. I was like, oh yeah, he's it.
I agree. No, Sinister was definitely a good one, and Ethan Hawke, man. like I said, Ethan Hawke is he's just phenomenal, and I'm just such
Oh
a
my.
big fan of his work. And he was great in the Black Phone too, man.
Oh,
Black
he
Phone,
was.
Yeah.
and I would have put Black Phone on the list, but being that it's still new, and we did talk
Right.
about it in a non spoiler way, but definitely Black Phone is good. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's definitely some good stuff,
Oh, it's so
no doubt
good.
at all. Um, all right, so I guess I got the last one here. And I've got a whole bunch. I'm gonna kind of cheat. I'm gonna do two. Because I wanted to kind of talk about two real quick. I'm not going to get deep into them, but if you have not seen a movie called Oculus, you have got to watch that movie. I'm just saying it. Not many people have talked about it. I actually have been waiting to talk about it. At some point, we will. Um, it's a fantastic movie. It's creepy. It's supernatural. It's well done, and so forth and so forth. So I'm just throwing that out there. So that's my Hail Mary. But I got to go back to the old school. I got to
Yes.
keep it real. And when I go back to
Yes.
old school, I'm usually going to go back to things like Carpenter. And I'm
Yes.
going to go with In the Mouth of Madness with
Oh,
Sam
I
Neill.
almost
Is that
picked that
1995?
one.
Yeah. Would you say Coriander?
I said I almost picked that one.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
Yep.
did. It's a great movie. It's creepy, it's weird, it's trippy, it's supernatural. And again, in Carpenter, for me, anyways, as a director, has done so many different types. He's kind of driven a different line with some of his movies as far as these
Yeah.
different subgenres. And I think In the Mouth of Madness might be one of his most creative movies because it's just so weird and trippy. So that's my last recommendation is In the Mouth of Madness.
You're making me want to watch it. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see that one either because I saw it. I was like, oh no. I just remember the cover with the blur out.
Yeah.
But I
Yes.
never seen it because I was just like, it doesn't look like my taste. But now I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe.
Well, let me say
Oh,
this.
you should check it out.
It's
Definitely.
you you should, and it's kind of part of his they call it his unofficial trilogy called the Apocalypse trilogy, which is The
Mm,
Thing, Prince of Darkness, and then In the Mouth of Madness. And the
I
funny thing
hear.
is, with each movie, there are different types of movies and a different type of apocalyptic scenario. Like The
Mm,
Thing is different from Prince of Darkness, and Prince of Darkness
yeah,
is different
very.
from Mouth, but they're all good, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
definitely, I would say check out In the Mouth of Madness. It's a good one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You may have
Yeah.
convinced me because I was like, oh, I don't know about that one.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
and of course, and Wayne's talking about The Exorcist. Of course, The Exorcist is in there. We were definitely trying to think of some other things to throw there too, because
Right.
everyone talks about The Exorcist.
Right.
Still one of the best of all time, in my opinion. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
definitely,
That was
definitely.
like one of the very first movies I had seen. Oh my God, I was probably like 5 when my
Hmm.
aunts showed me this movie. And
Really.
yeah, it scared me and it
Oh
was
yeah,
crazy and I didn't finish it and I can't remember how old I was when I saw it again. But yeah,
yeah.
The Exorcist is definitely a good one.
It's
It was
still
one of those.
effective.
It is.
Yeah.
It is just to see the
It's
progression.
yeah.
And it was one of those ones that like as a kid, like, and I'm gonna be honest, when I like, well, this is just my opinion. Like it scared me, but in a very different way. And I think when
Right.
I was younger, when I heard about it, it was like the scariest movie everyone's seen. And I remember
Hmm.
watching it like I wasn't scared, but I was scared in a very it's levels to scariness. And I
Right.
it was an interesting level of scariness, but just to see the progression, if you sticking with the story and to see what the character of Reagan turns into, it
Mm.
is pretty terrifying. And I could see
Yeah.
like for that time, like why it was so like,
And
Oh yeah.
why it was such a
possessions
big deal.
happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what makes it
yeah,
even, more like realistic and just
Hmm.
scary because this shit can
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
Right.
So
If
yeah.
I could ever go back and see the reactions of moviegoers to a movie, it would have been The Exorcist.
Oh my
Or
Back
God.
then.
Jaws. I think
Or
Jaws would have been
Jaws.
fun too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, that would have been fun too. But if I could only pick one, it would have been The Exorcist, because I can
I agree
only
with you.
imagine how batshit crazy those guys, those folks must have felt when they were watching that damn movie. Can you imagine? Back then, 73? Come on.
Night.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Like, I've talked about it so many times with myself. I wished I was alive then so I could have been in the theater. I wish I could have experienced it in that time, because the
Right.
way it's still spoken about today,
Right.
that movie must have. I just wonder what was happening, because like it's still spoken about in this particular way. Like it's still finding its way into people's conversations so
That's right.
evidently, and I just uh
It's true, man. It's true. And real quick, as we get ready to wrap this up, because this has been a lot of fun. Maverick saying, Knight, was it just me, or were you surprised Carpenter didn't do a fourth movie for his Apocalypse series? He could have dubbed them his Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Ooh, I like that.
Right.
I'm not really surprised, because, the one thing about John Carpenter, and, you got to love him, he goes his own way. He's definitely a rebel, and he just does not give a F. You know what I mean? So the fact that he did those three movies, and I know he's a big fan of those three movies, and the fact that they were kind of called that unofficial trilogy, I'm sure he's okay with it, but I don't think he looks into it anymore than that. But of course, us as fans that are so supportive and have such a passion for it, I think definitely for us, we're like, yeah, man, do a fourth one. I would have been all up for it, man. So I still, to this
mm,
day, if he said he's going to do one more movie and that was the one he chose, I'd be fine with that. I'd be like, yeah, man, go and do it, because But yeah, it would have been interesting to see what he would have done for the fourth, for real. But anyways,
John is
Mav saying
amazing.
very true. Um,
John is amazing.
he is, man. I mean, he's a legend, and his filmography speaks for itself, and it's amazing stuff. I'm just such a huge fan. I really, really am.
He
But
is a rebel.
for you guys in the chat, definitely, you guys have told us a lot of great picks. Definitely let us know in the comment section as well. What are some of your favorite supernatural horror movies? And also, what do you think of our picks? But maybe more importantly, and this is what we wanted to kind of do this for, is do you find, let us know in the comments, do you find that supernatural horror is still effective today? We've talked about movies from way back in the day, and we've talked about movies within the last few years, but what do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section. Please make sure you like the video. That will help support the channel. And also, like I said earlier, check out Dre's channel. I got the link to his channel in the description. So check him out. He's doing some good stuff, and we're really happy to have had him here. And by the way, Dre, thank you
Yes.
for joining us. We appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, it's always good to me. The cool thing about a discussion like this is you're talking about movies and the memories or the connections that you have with them, and that's always fun for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah,
love it. Every movie has a story.
that's
Everyone.
so true.
They all do. Every single one.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. The Fog was a
The
good one
way he
too.
said the Invisible Man, that one was so good.
It was. There's so
Lean
many.
Bean. No, honestly,
Mhm.
like there's so many that we didn't name. I'm kind of sad
Oh yeah,
because there's so many that were released like recently. And I'm like, oh man,
yeah. Thanks, Conrad. This was a lot of fun,
Conrad,
man.
you're. I love Conrad. Like
He knows
he's
his stuff.
every time he says it, I'm like, I just want to hit him. Like you're so right. You're so right.
He knows what's going on. But for the rest of you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We're gonna head on out. Like I said, check out Dre's channel, and please leave a comment that will help support the channel. And we will catch you guys later. And for Dre and for Coriander, I have you guys just sit right there. We're gonna do the outro. But for the rest of you guys, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.
Church.